take on today's game and more on sports. Take it away, Scott.
Kevin, thank you very much.
You did that.
We appreciate you. Thank you, gentlemen. And we welcome you into the nation's capital and sports center. We will be bringing you complete post-game coverage of Game 3. Doris Burke and J.J. Redick, one of the stars of the game, we're not sure exactly who, will join me from Dallas. We know it'll be someone from Boston. Tim Legler is in the building. Are we still breaking down the same stuff we were going to break down, Lex? Or did we punt? Things changed. What a bizarre game. Game 3 looked like a blowout, and then the next thing you know, it's a 2-point game. It was as close to a must-win as you could possibly have for the Dallas Mavericks, and it played out in a number of different acts. Oh, my goodness heavens to Betsy. Jaylen Brown down the lane. It was an emphatic third quarter for Boston, and that looked like the exclamation point that perhaps was going to bury, and then that three right there from Derek White. It's a 21-point game, but now it's 14. Josh Green, hold the phone. It's 11. Then Kyrie down the lane. Bucket good. I thought Luka should have taken the two. What do I know? Kick to the corner. It's P.J. Washington. Patrick Mahomes is pumped. Brown in transition. This is a monster sequence. Just over 4 minutes to go. That's the 6th foul on Luka. It's called a block. Play reviewed and upheld. If you're a Dallas fan, you're saying that that's not a charge. It's not a block, but that's not what they called. Kick out. White again. 3-point lead. Pushed back to 6. Then it's Tatum. In the lane, spins through contact. He is able to drop the hammer there. 4-point game. Kyrie. Lively's all alone down low. Back to a 2-point game. $1:20 to go on the other end. Big hit for Jaylen Brown. Pushes the lead back to 4. Kyrie. Gotta have it. Didn't get it. It's short. And Boston builds a 21-point lead. It nearly evaporates all the way down to 2. But all that matters in the end is the accounting reads 3-0. The Celtics lead in the conference finals. And now they look to grab a sweep. They'd be the 4th to take 3-0 leads in each of the last 2 rounds of a single postseason, joining the Sixers in '83, the Bulls in '96, the Warriors in 2017. Previous 3 all won the title. The Celtics will look to be the first to sweep both. J.J. Redick and Doris Burke join us now for the post-game report. And I have so many notes, and they're all incongruent. This felt like you all just watched 4 different games in one night. DB, they're up 21, and I'm ready to write this thing off. It's a wrap. Dallas is able to fight back, but how does Boston absorb an 8-minute stretch where they only score 2 points and still win this game?
Listen, Scott, this has been a team that's much maligned for its inability to close in these types of moments. And remarkably, Jason Tatum goes 1 for 5. He was brilliant through the first 3 quarters, but once again, Drew, Derek, and Jaylen. This has been about the team for the Boston Celtics all year long. And I keep harping on it. There were 2 drives late where Derek White forced Kyrie back to his left hand. They were game-changing defensive stops in a sequence of plays that were game-changing, but incredible team effort.
JJ, this Boston team now, in 49 of the 99 games it has played this year, has had at least a 20-point lead. In the end, all they care about is they're up 3-0. But I feel like this is who they've been all year, and we keep coming back to this point as well, don't we, JJ? Boston's demonstrated from October until June that they're the best team. We shouldn't be surprised whether they have to sort of hang on for dear life or if they roll. Am I right?
You're 100% right, and I said this during the game. You have to trust what you do, and the Boston Celtics have trusted their system all season long. The reason they've had those leads, Scott, is because they're elite at shooting threes and they're elite at getting them up. And the reason they've been so good defensively is because they trust in Joe Mazzulla's game plan. It's such a small thing. What Doris brought up, getting Kyrie back to his left hand, forcing him to his left hand into a tough contested shot. How about Al Horford at the end of the game, trusting your guy on an island against Kyrie Irving? Great contest on a tough fall away. I say this again, Jaylen Brown in the second half of this basketball game and the way he's played, particularly in the conference finals and finals, this is peak Jaylen Brown.
This is something I know I'm going to talk about, Doris, with Tim a bit later. And in the end, because the lead almost entirely evaporated, you can't get that third quarter that doesn't get lost. But I just ask you, that 12 minutes of basketball, if you look back on the end of a postseason run, if it ends with a parade and an 18th banner for Boston, is that as well as a team can possibly play, that third quarter for Boston?
I think so. And listen, I'm going to take a little bit of objection to Dallas's defense. I thought there were moments where they let go of the rope defensively, but yes, unequivocally, this has been a series where it's relentless. Drive, pitch, move the basketball, play off your defense, get out in transition. The play that fouls out Luka. I mean, it's just the Celtics, when they are moving and kicking and driving and shooting threes from everywhere, it can feel like a hurricane just raining down on you.
And that obviously, Brown knows he's got 5, and you pointed it out all series long, Doris. Like, he hunted him, right? I mean, you put your head down and force him to get in the way, and he did. I'm looking at Dallas now, and they've got to obviously win or their season comes to an end, JJ. They got contributions again from their stars, and in this one, in this one, Kyrie was able to score a bunch. What's the script look like for you for them to get a victory and extend this series?
It starts with Kyrie and Luka, and they gave themselves a chance to win for much of this game because of the way these two guys played. P.J. Washington, who's been really good throughout these playoffs, got it going late to get them back. They have to be better defensively. They have to keep the ball in front. Scott, if you're playing the Boston Celtics and you're saying, what do we want to take away, and you're giving up 40-some threes a game, that's a losing proposition. That's a losing proposition, and in some ways they got lucky in game 2 with the way that the Boston Celtics shot the ball. They didn't get lucky tonight.
Right. Well, I mean, but the stat the other night with all the blow-bys, it feels like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. And I suppose that's why Boston's been who they've been all year, and it's why they're up 3-0 in the finals. J.J. Doris, I appreciate it. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk again, all right?
All right. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you so much. 3 more things, more context as the Celtics grab what is a commanding 3-0 lead. Boston's 15-2 this postseason. They've won 10 consecutive games, which extends the longest winning streak in the storied franchise postseason history. It's the longest since the Warriors and Cavaliers did it in the same year of 2017, that memorable postseason. They averaged 17 points on 32% shooting over the first 2 games of the series. And that's Jason Tatum. I said the other night, I thought maybe your best game's coming. Well, he had 20 in the first half, finished with his 53rd 25-point game. That's the 3rd most in Celtics history. And now the mandatory stat, when a team goes up 3-0, it's a wrap. That's what history says. What is the old thing about the stock market? Past performance is not an indication of future results, but 157-0, 95 result in the sweep. Boston looking to pull that off on Friday. They're now 7-0 on the road in the playoffs this postseason. They've won 9 straight on the road dating back to last year. It's tied for the 2nd longest winning streak all time. They trail just the 2001-2002 Lakers, who rattled off an astounding 12 consecutive victories away from home. Oh, that's spam. I'm chuckling as I say hello to Tim Legler because the show was written and we were ready to put this thing to bed. Well, do you want me to tell Tim to wait for? Okay, Tim.
Perfect.
You know
a player
how this,
to talk to.
You know how this works.
I do.
If we got a guy that's still got sweat on his shoulders from the game, we're going to welcome